This year at NEM, a lot of talk about local production. How important is it? This is the first project that you're doing here in this territory. Why did you wait so long?
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm not the guy to ask for that because I'm a development guy, so I come where they send me. But certainly, over the last few years, original production has become more and more important in the business as we've expanded. Yeah, I don't know the.
Okay, in terms of local production, what are the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenges and the biggest rewards are the fact that in all of the Central Europe territories, I'm going into places where often the crews are fantastic because they've had a lot of American shows and commercials and the Borgias and Game of Thrones and all the rest of it. And actually, I remember I worked on the Borgias, and I was conscious even then, looking around, thinking this is great for up as far as second AD, up as far as art director, but we're doing nothing for writers and directors. So it's very pleasing for me to then having a job which is exactly that. So the challenge but the reward is that this so-called high-end television that we're trying to do sort of hadn't been done before in these territories, particularly if you use the thing that I'm trying to do, which is find local talent. So the challenge is you're trying to find writers and directors, particularly writers, who are ready to step up to another level. The reward is when it works, it's so fresh. It's so fresh because in the UK, you spend 20 years on EastEnders or Casualty and all the rest of it, and then you're deemed to be ready to have your own show. But some writers have lost the spark that they had when they were 20 and young and angry. We're by definition often working with young writers, and when I can bring to them and help them in the areas where they may lack a little bit of experience, and then they push back with the rawness of talent and something to say, then you get something that grows organically and is really exciting.
How hard is it to find talent? It's a word that we hear a lot. Talent, there's so much talent, so much talent. How do you find where it is?
Well, in this, I couldn't do the job that I do without very talented development people in the different territories that I work with. When we came here 2 years ago, it was just me. We've now hired a fantastic lady called Anna Balentovic, who's been with us for a year, and now she does all the work, and I can swan around to these lovely places. But to start with, it was a challenge. How am I going to do that? I know there are writers here. There are talented writers everywhere. Where are they? Are they down the pub? Where will I find them? So the strategy that we used here was a script competition. And that was very successful. We put out an open tender. Please send us pilot scripts for an idea that you have. We read them, we judged it, and we had 2 joint winners, one of which is the show we've just finished. So that was how it's good PR, but it's a great strategy to find new talent, and we've used it a couple of times in other territories. So yeah, that's really exciting. We do a competition, a guy wins, and we make that show.
That's
makes
great.
It sound so simple.
Sounds so simple.
It sounds so easy. Yeah, exactly.
My last question: when you do a local production, local show, for example, this one that you're doing right now in Croatia, are you thinking, okay, first I'm going to use it for this territory, or are you at the beginning thinking about global or Europe as your goal audience?
Yeah, I mean that it sort of is the question now. When I started this job about 4 years ago, the brief to me was very clear. Go to Hungary, for instance, help the Hungarian team, support the Hungarian team to make a Hungarian show for the Hungarian audience. And if there's any life outside of Hungary, that's a bonus, thank you very much. Now, definitely, in a more competitive landscape, for instance, all of our OP shows now go out day and date in all 10 of the countries or whatever there are. So that does come in the thinking. For me personally, my belief is that it just strengthens my belief in local talent and local voices, because I think the market and the audiences are sophisticated now in a way that they weren't like 20 years ago when there was the first round of the co-production, the Euro pudding that came out of that. I think there is so much more sophisticated audiences that my belief now, it's actually strengthened my belief that something that is local and therefore is truthful and therefore has some integrity will have interest outside of the territory. So it's a factor, and you're thinking about it all the time, but actually I think more and more look for the local talent.
So basically you're British, if I'm not mistaken? Yes. So you're sitting in your house in London and you don't mind watching a TV show that's being filmed in, I don't know, Cyprus.
No, absolutely, and that's the game now. I started this job 4 years ago at the, at the height of the penetration of the killing, bridge, Borgias. These are the guys that showed us how to do it, and you were seeing on BBC 4, even BBC 2, subtitled shows being watched in a way that they hadn't been watched before, and you just knew something was changing, and it was like, great, I got a job in that sector, which is really exciting.
Very good for you.
Yeah, phew.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.